Hello everyone, I am Soumitra, currently a postdoctoral research associate at the University of Liverpool, UK. Today I am going to present our work titled with Can Automated Gesture Recognition Support the Study of Child Language Development? This is our joint work with Dr. Colin Bernard, Professor Julian Pine, and the Language Not to 5 team at the University of Liverpool, UK. So, why we are interested in child gestures? There are numerous studies in the literature which suggest that child gestures plays a very important role in their early communications and later language development. In 2007, Tomasello et al. Reviews that in children's early pointing behavior support their subsequent development of conventional linguistic communications. In a study, Faulkner et al. Report that hold out and giving gestures are a precursor to the child index finger pointing. In a very recent large-scale longitudinal studies, Donnellan et al. Found that different types of child gestures are differently predict the later vocabulary. So in all these studies involved with manually coding of different child gestures from videos of child caregiver interaction environment, which is not only require huge manpower but also time consuming process. Here we try to propose an automatic child gestures method which support the study of child language development. In this study, our main contributions are propose an automatic child gesture recognition system which has wide application in child language analysis and other areas in cognitive science communities. Here we explore the state-of-the-art deep learning method in a new type of human action recognition problem. Video data for human action recognitions consist of two main informations such as shape informations, that is how different human body parts looks like for a particular gestures, and motion informations like movement of different body parts for that particular gestures. Before deep learning, researchers were trying to solve the human action recognition problem from these two types of human informations. They try to extract some important features from both spatial and motion informations, and they call it as spatial and motion features. Those are totally based on human expertise for particular actions. Then combine those two features to form a final feature vectors with a fixed dimensional vector. Then use different type of classifier like support vector machine, random forest, and others to classify the human actions. The main limitation was to extract good features, and due to that it is very hard to capture the complex distribution for the classifier. Later, deep learning tried to learn the important features automatically from the data and give better performance than the traditional feature learning process. Here I am assuming everyone is a bit familiar with the deep neural networks, at least the neural networks. In a brief, a neural network is a collection of neurons with a predefined connection with each other. Generally, neurons are defined as a layers and their connection accordingly. If there are multiple layers, then we call it as deep neural networks. Deep learning is nothing but composite to learn a composite function, which is very complicated in nature to solve different practical problems. Deep convolutional neural network is a special type of neural network which use multiple filters at different layers to capture different features hierarchically to solve practical problems. Researchers have shown that it's not learning random things, it's captured the information similar to the human perceptions. In this car example, first layer captures the low-level features like color information. In the next layer, try to capture mid-level feature informations like structures, in this case, structure of the wheels, structure of the other body parts, and others. And the rest of the layers captures other type of features hierarchically. Our proposed module consists of two steps. First, we learn important features and then classify or label video frames using learned features. We train two deep convolutional neural network for our video feature representations. One is to learn spatial information or spatial features. We call it as spatial net, and another for motion informations. We call it as motion net. Concatenate spatial and motion features to get the final video descriptor with a fixed dimensional feature vector. Finally, use support vector machine to classify each video frame as one of the predefined child gestures. As I mentioned that we have used two deep convolutional neural network to represent our video features, but what they actually captured in our settings. Here, the spatial net captures the spatial informations of the actor body parts for for a particular gesture. Motion net captures the movement of different body parts for particular gestures. For both network, we used deep convolutional neural network architecture similar to RESTnet architectures, which is very popular in deep learning communities. For spatial net, we use raw RGB video frame as our input and different child gestures type as output. For motion net, we use optical flow stacked from consecutive frames and different child gesture type as our output. Here, optical flow means the horizontal and vertical displacement between two consecutive frames. Particularly, we use 10 consecutive frames for our motion feature informations. So in total, the input to the temporal net will be 20 channel image frame. We label each video frame by classifying the video feature representation. To train the system, we consider a short video clip for each gesture type and represent each video clip with our feature representation, which just I have described. Particularly, our feature dimension for video representation is a fixed 4048 dimensional vectors. We train a multi-class support vector machine using one versus rest strategy to classify each child gestures efficiently. During testing, we consider a long new video sequence and label each frame using train classifier. Let's say we want to label a particular video frame in a long video sequence. We consider 29 consecutive frames before that frame, so total 30 frames, and calculate the feature representations for those frames. Then classify that features using the pre-trained SVM classifier and label that frame as the output of that classifier. We have evaluated our system on a child gesture dataset from the Language Notify team. The Language Notify team is a child language study group in the University of Liverpool, UK. Currently, they are studying 80 children in 0 to 5 age groups. The dataset has been created by recording the child caregiver interaction using handheld camera with an indoor setting. The dataset has 72 different subjects in the two age groups, 11 and 12 months. The dataset is manually coded by the graduate students and labeled 12 different child gestures like give, hold out, pointing, etc. The statistics of different gesture types are shown in this table. In the table, retract object class has a very few number of samples and that reflect in our model performance, which we will see soon. For our system evaluation, we divide the dataset into three equal partitions based on the subject identities. We train the system on first set, fix the model parameter on second set, and finally test on the rest partition. We did this 3 times in a round robin basis, which is called three-fold cost basis in the literatures, and average over all three test sets and report the accuracy as our model performance. Here are some sample clips from four important gesture types: grab subject, give, hold out, and point declarative. We fixed our model parameters empirically. For optical flow calculation, we have used uh, a popular pipe flow based implementations, and to reduce the optical flow displacement, we clamped the vector at -20 to 20. For network parameter initialization, we use JVR initialization strategy, which is popular in deep learning community, and it's similar to the sample from a normal distribution with mean zero and variance depends on the network input output. For parameter optimization, we use stochastic gradient descent method. To update the parameter, we used Adam update rule with a fixed learning rate of 0.01. We have used a fixed batch size of 64 to update our model parameters and terminate the learning process after 500 epoch. We have implemented our model in Python using PyTorch deep learning toolbox. Here are some sample results from our model output. In green color shows the human coded level and the blue color shows the proposed model output. You can see some of the frames are missing from manually coded level, but the system gives level for all the frames. With respect to percentage, our proposed model gives on an average 48.32 accuracy over all the gesture types, which is far better than the 8.3% random chance from 12 gestures. We have evaluated the individual feature performance where motion feature gives better performance than the special one and their combination gives the best. To see how correlation between hand-coded and machine-coded individual features, individual gestures performs and how they are confusing with other type of gestures, we calculate the Spearman rank correlations between hand-coded and machine-coded of rate of producing of each gestures for each age group, and these are the results. Clearly, there is strong correlation for some important gestures like grabs objects, give, hold out, and point declarative. So these results shows that some proposed method performs well across different important gestures. Please note that due to the lack of sufficient data samples, we perform worst for the retract object class. Further, we evaluate our system with UKCDI mother score datasets. The dataset has mother assessment score on 3-point scale basis of the child's rate of producing a gestures type at each age. For four gestures like give, hold out, point declarative, and share orientation, we report the correlation across the ages for these four gestures shown in this figure. Clearly, for two very important gestures, hold out and point declarative, the machine coded correlation is similar to the mother assessment scores and the hand coded data. Finally, in conclusions, here we propose an automatic child gesture recognition method to study their early language ability. This is our first attempt and found promising results for different important gestures like declarative pointing, gives, hold out. Those are associated with the child's language development. Combining other modalities like audio will be a next important step to improve our model performance. Here, I would like to thank all the family members who just participate in these studies and help us to create this dataset. Our code is publicly available now in GitHub. This is the link. The dataset will be publicly available soon. Thank you for your listening, and I'll be happy to take any questions and comments. Thanks.